Imagine this for a moment. A young man is running for his life, not from strangers, not from enemies, but from a king who once loved him, a king who once called him son, now wants him dead. This young man is hiding in caves, sleeping in the wilderness, hungry, rejected, anointed by God, yet hunted by men. He was promised a crown, but first he was given pain. This is the story of David, a shepherd boy who was chosen in secret, tested in suffering, and crowned after patience. How did a boy from the fields become the king of Israel? Let's go back to the beginning, the shepherd boy nobody expected. Before David was a warrior, before he was a fugitive, before he was a king, he was just a shepherd boy. David lived in Bethlehem with his father Jesse and his brothers. He was the youngest, the smallest, the one nobody thought much about, while his brothers stood tall and strong. David watched sheep. He spent long days in the fields, quiet days, lonely nights. But something important was happening there. In the fields, David learned to trust God. He fought lions and bears to protect his sheep. No audience, no applause, just obedience. Sometimes, God trains you in places nobody sees. And one day, God told the prophet Samuel something shocking.
How long will you mourn for Saul? Fill your horn with oil. I am sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem.
Go to Bethlehem. I have chosen one of Jesse's sons to be king. Samuel arrived at Jesse's
Bring your sons
house.
before me.
Jesse brought out his sons, one by one. Tall, strong, impressive. Samuel thought, surely this must be the one. But God said, no, man looks at the outside, but I look at the heart. One by one, God rejected them all. Samuel asked, are these all your sons? Jesse replied, there is still the youngest, but he is tending the sheep. That tells you everything. David wasn't even invited. David is anointed in secret. They sent for David. A dusty shepherd boy walked in, probably smelling like sheep. No royal look, no crown, but God spoke clearly. This is the one. Samuel took the oil and anointed David in front of his brothers. From that day, the Spirit of the Lord came upon David. And then, nothing changed. No crown. No throne, no announcement. David went back to the fields. Being chosen by God does not mean things change immediately. Sometimes, the anointing comes long before the appointment. David enters the palace, but not as king. Meanwhile, King Saul began to struggle. An evil spirit troubled him. Someone suggested music to calm him. And guess who was recommended? David, the shepherd boy, was brought into the palace, not as king, but as a servant. David played the harp, and Saul found peace. Saul liked David. He even made him his armor bearer. Everything seemed to be working, but destiny was quietly moving. David and Goliath, the moment that changed everything. Then war came. The Philistines gathered for battle, and out came their champion, Goliath, a giant, strong, fearless. For 40 days, he mocked Israel, and no one moved. One day, David came to the battlefield to bring food to his brothers. He heard Goliath's words, and David was shocked.
Who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God?
While others saw a giant, David saw an opportunity. He volunteered to fight. No armor, no sword, Just a sling and faith, one stone, one throw. Goliath fell. David didn't just defeat a giant, he defeated fear. The thing everyone is afraid of may be the doorway to your breakthrough. Fame, favor, and jealousy. After that day, David became famous. Women sang songs. Saul has killed his thousands, and David his tens of thousands. That song entered Saul's heart like poison. Jealousy grew. Fear followed. Saul realized something terrifying. God was with David, and from that moment, Saul wanted David dead. The palace became dangerous. The same king who once loved David now threw spears at him. David ran. The caves, the waiting, and the pain. David became a fugitive, from palace to caves, from praise to persecution. He hid in the wilderness. People in debt, broken, and rejected gathered around him. David became their leader, but he was still not king. Saul chased him again and again, and twice, David had the chance to kill Saul, but he didn't. He said, "I will not touch the Lord's anointed." David chose patience over shortcuts. Not every opportunity is from God. Some are tests of character, Saul's end and David's promotion. Eventually, Saul died in battle. David didn't celebrate. He mourned. Then something incredible happened. The people of Judah came to David, and they anointed him king. Years after he was first chosen, David finally wore the crown. Later, all Israel accepted him as king. The shepherd became a ruler. The fugitive became a leader. The rejected became chosen. David's story teaches us something powerful. You can be anointed and still misunderstood, chosen and still waiting, called and still suffering. But if you stay faithful, God will fulfill his promise. So here's the question for you. What if the season you are in right now is not punishment, but preparation? If this story spoke to you, please subscribe, like, and comment for videos like this.